The Monument of the Discoveries, built in 1960, commemorates the 500th anniversary of the death of Henry the Navigator. Massive sculpture represents the prow of a ship. The magnificent Dos Geronimos Monastery was built in 1502 to glorify Portugal's great discoveries of the period. It was built with the wealth that poured into Lisbon 500 years ago. It is my favorite part of the city, Alfama. This is a working-class neighborhood with thankfully very few trappings of modern tourism. You will like discovering this quarter with its maze of narrow streets and winding alleys, all clinging to the hillside. In the cafes, there are no tourist menus. You eat at local prices. Even with the warm greetings, you feel like you are an intruder in a community that has a life of its own. Alfama. Experience it. On day trips out of Lisbon, you'll get a chance to enjoy breathtaking coastal views, have lunch in a small seaside village, and take in those great seascapes. If you make only one day trip out of Lisbon, make it to Sintra. This was the summer residence of the kings of Portugal and a favorite haunt of the British during the 18th and 19th centuries. Lord Byron, the Romantic poet, called Sintra one of the prettiest villages in the world. This handsome town, 32 kilometers west of Lisbon, extends around green and wooded ravines. The town is cool and lush, even at the height of the summer season. Sintra has trendy cafes where you can dine al fresco and watch the passing fashion parade. Local specialties include buffet na pedra, that's steak cooked on a baking stone, and queijada, cakes made with a secret recipe. Sintra, a nice place to hang out for kings, poets, and common folk alike. Overlooking the town of Sintra is the remarkably eccentric Pena Palace, a must-see on this day trip out of Lisbon. Sitting on one of the highest peaks in the area, the palace was built in the mid-1800s by the king consort Prince Ferdinand. At first glance, I thought of the fairy tale castles in Bavaria built by King Ludwig II. The various architectural styles give the palace a Disney-like appearance. There are touches of Moorish, Gothic, Renaissance, and Baroque designs. Some might call it an architectural nightmare. The views are spectacular. From this castle, you can see other castles dotting the countryside below. With its good beaches along its esplanade, Cascais is at the end of the commuter train line running out of Lisbon. After a few days in the city, this resort provides a pleasant seaside holiday. In the summer, the crowds are large, especially on the weekends. Undisturbed by the hustle and bustle of beach life, the fishing community continues its age-old traditions. The catch of the day on your table tonight. The climate, cafes, and beaches of Cascais attracted writers and artists in the 1930s. Today, the town is very popular with British and German tourists. It is the Portuguese Riviera, Estoril. The beach town acquired a reputation as a kind of post-war rendezvous for exiled royals and the idle rich. Well, the royals have gone, and the rich, they are less idle. The coastline is marked with golden beaches and spectacular capes. The sky is radiant. Years ago, people came to Estoril for the healing powers of the water. Estoril's casino was the inspiration for Ian Fleming's Casino Royale. Like Mr. Bond, do dress somewhat formally. The international set enjoys the park with its tropical and exotic plants and trees. Estoril has all the amenities of a first-class resort, just a short commute from Lisbon. The drive along the coast west of Lisbon is spectacular. The beaches beyond Estoril and Cascais are less crowded. It is mid-morning, hardly a sunseeker on this wide, sandy beach. I can't get there from here because I have run out of land. This is Cabo da Roca, the most western point on mainland Europe. Everyone else in Europe is to the east of me, and due west is Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. On a clear day, you can see the Liberty Bell. Although calm on this day, Cabo da Roca can be one of the most windswept places in the country. The magnificent seascapes and rocky bays reminded me of California's Highway 1. A portion of the Cape's hiking path runs along the edge of Western Europe, literally. The sheer cliff drops 140 meters to the sea.